Despite scoring the most goals in the Premier League, there's always been a lot of talk around if Arsenal need a striker. And possibly one of the most unique profiles on the market right now, and someone that Edu reportedly likes very much, is Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna. In this video, we're going to talk about what he would bring to Arsenal and why Arsenal would be willing to spend the money to get him. But before we get into that, if you like this video, can you please like and subscribe for more content? I do daily Arsenal and football videos, so you can see more of them. Joshua Zirkzee in a few weeks time will be the age of 23, and he plays for Bologna, who've had a brilliant season in Serie A, currently residing and getting Champions League football. Under Thiago Motta, Zirkzee has proven he can do numerous amounts of roles and be a very good facilitator in the attacking line. Not necessarily known as a goal scorer, as this season he's only scored 11 league goals, but he also has provided 5 assists, being very good at helping his teammate. Now, something that Arsenal have benefited a lot from this season is Kai Havertz and his ability to pick up space and bring other players into the game. He's not necessarily going to be the most clinical finisher in the world, but Kai Havertz and Zirkzee are very similar in that way. They're both very good for other players to get more goals and assists. And Zirkzee's a very good on the ball player. In a game, he is very good at dribbling from deep, making progressive carries and progressive passes. Per game, for a striker, he's making 2.6 progressive passes, so he's picking the ball up from deep and putting it through the lines, but also making 1.7 progressive carries. He loves running with the ball, doing a little nutmeg and getting it up the pitch further. This also lines up with his successful take-ons. He's got a 1.73, and with his physical stature at being 6'4", he is massive in the air and can be very good at take-ons anywhere on the pitch. And because of his stature, he is very good in duels, which is something that Arteta likes and wants a lot from his players. He's very physical and can win many per game, in the air or on the foot. Now, while these stats he really excels at is sometimes his defensive work, which has been very key this season. He is in one of the highest players for high regains in the Serie A, which means he is basically picking up the ball within the final third of the other team when they're trying to pass it around. He's got a very good press and he's very aggressive at getting the ball. He averages around 3 per 90 minutes, with 2 coming in the attacking half. This includes 30 counter pressing and 11 dangerous recoveries from his side, and some of them even came inside the penalty box, as you can see by this stat. And this allows him to get into good positions to score when he needs to, but often it actually helps his team press together and gets it a lot of opportunities to pass and give balls to other players. Now, he is actually performing above his XG this season because it is not that high, and most of his shots are in the penalty box or even from outside of it, rarely. But because of his link-up play, this isn't really a concern. He is very good at linking up with other players and has really helped the midfield and the wingers of Bologna get a lot of goals and assists this season with his brilliant play. This could be very important for Arsenal, where they could get players like Saka, Odegaard and Martinelli more on the game, but they could also rely on Zirkzee to win the ball back from high up the pitch with their brilliant pressing styles and still be able to contain and have sustainable chances and shots at the goal. Zirkzee can do the Havertz role, but he might also be a bit more clinical because he is a bigger player. He's more physical, he's going to get into fights as much as Havertz does, and probably win more aerial duels as well. And with Arsenal being better with sustained possession and liking to build up play quite slowly outside the box with different runners and trying to press teams back into their own box, Zirkzee actually operates a lot outside the box when he's doing his passing and progressive work. From this metric, you can see where he's been getting his assists in this season. He's been doing multiple through balls and passes into the box from outside it or out wide, and he's not afraid himself to potentially sometimes go out wide and put crosses in as well. This could help with the fluid notion of Arsenal and could help with the movement of all the attacking line, feeling like he's in play a lot more than you would get with someone like Eddie and Nketiah, who just primarily sits in the box, not helping the progression play, making it harder to create chances. Another thing that Zirkzee is brilliant at is actually being a bit of a defensive forward. His tackles and clearances are very far up for a defensive striker, and he is making a lot of contributions defensively per game. Of course, with his height, he's going to be important from defensive corners because he needs to head the ball away and be aggressive on a marker, but it also stands with the Arsenal physical factor, which they've definitely been trying to include. More physical players throughout the team and bigger players to order to help them defend and also have a bit more control on the games, and he would definitely help that being at 6'4". And with his brilliant tackles and clearances, he could definitely do a bit of a Havertz role, but he's a bit more of a runner. He can really run back and defend when his back's against the wall, but break quickly and be able to do that pass that we saw Havertz do to Saka in the Tottenham game, having a great long pass and stats as well. And from long distance, he actually makes around 69% of his passes, which is very high level, and he's making around 1 to 2 per game. And comparatively to his midfield and short passes, they're also at very good level, being a lot more involved than you would see a traditional striker, making around 30 passes per game. But while doing all this, Zirkzee can be fundamentally a player that sits on the last defender, very much like Havertz has been doing recently. Havertz runs off the last defender and tries to get through. Zirkzee actually has very good pace for his height and can actually get through quite easily, despite him being caught off quite a lot offside. If he can improve that in his game at Arsenal, if they were to sign him, then that would make him probably a more effective player than Havertz in that position, just because he's more naturally a striker than someone like Havertz was, who played a lot deeper throughout his career. Overall, Zirkzee is a brilliant player and has had a brilliant season for Bologna despite looking at his goals and assists. He is someone that is very unique on the transfer market, because all the other strikers such as Gyökeres or Osimhen most primarily are going to be a good striker or assist maker. Zirkzee isn't someone that necessarily primarily is going to have that himself, but with his contributions defensively and bringing the ball up the field, he can definitely help other players get to more goals and assists, and he's way more of a facilitator than anyone else on the transfer market. Now, he is a player very similar to Havertz, and we have seen that Havertz role work very well at Arsenal, but if Arsenal want to move Havertz into different positions, trying in midfield again sometimes, in order to help Havertz and Zirkzee play together, then they could almost switch in game, and it could be a brilliant role, a bit like we saw Trossard and Havertz do against West Ham. And this allows someone like Zirkzee to play and press with Odegaard going forward, which allows Havertz to win the duels from deep. Then Zirkzee can swap with him and also win the duels while Havertz makes some of the runs in behind. I would say Havertz is definitely a better off the ball player, but Zirkzee is very good at that. But Zirkzee on the ball is much better. He can run with the ball quite cleanly and his dribbling is top notch. And with a reported fee of around 40 to 50 million pounds and the fact that Bologna's manager might be leaving, Thiago Motta, Zirkzee looks willing to leave and would like to come to Arsenal or any other club. There's a lot of teams interested, especially in the Serie A, such as Juventus and AC Milan. But teams like Manchester United have also got a bit of an eye on him because of his unique profile, and he can definitely help teams who aren't looking for necessarily a natural goal scorer, just looking to get their team more on the ball in better positions. But given the fact he turns 23 this month, and that is the age range that Arteta and Edu look for, he is definitely someone that I could see them really putting some money into and really investing in, because they know they can improve him yet even more, while he could also be a player that comes in and out the squad if Havertz isn't there, and also make the players around him better, including Havertz overall. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna, and let me know if you think Arsenal should be the ones that sign him in the end. If not, who do you think should be the striker signing? And let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please like and subscribe for any more Arsenal or football content. And if you want to watch my video yesterday, I talked about Declan Rice and his impact on Arsenal this season. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.